This is William at William's Eclectic Video Blog, and I am at your mercy. For those of you who subscribe to my channel, if you happen to see my last blog where I talked about Heinrich Wolfland's 5 Principles of Art History, but had no handouts and no examples, I failed to mention all you need to do is Google Wolfland's, W-O-L-F-F-L-I-N, 5 Principles, and you can see all the examples, all the visual examples of those different critique terms that I talked about. So just wanted to throw that one out there. And today I wanted to, on this blog, I wanted to talk about the power, because I'm always talking about the power of something, the power of the economy of words. We as humans have the need to talk. We have that need to communicate. And this is one reason, actually it's the main reason I do this blog, so I can talk. Because I'm retired. And I saw something early in my retirement that said, the secret to a happy retirement is to make peace with solitude. And I have definitely had to do that. Because, you know, when you're working, when you're out there seeking food and shelter, life's rushing at you. Instead of in retirement, it reverses 180 and you have to rush at it. You don't see people as much. And, you know, you're just not around people as much. Now, some people, they have a very large network, you know, social, so they still maintain that. Me, I'm sort of antisocial, so I never really pursued that once I retired as much. And it's different for everybody. We're, you know, there's extroverts and introverts and all those in between. I consider myself an introvert, but I probably am somewhere in between. One great definition I saw one time of extroverts and introverts was extroverts think out loud, introverts think silently. And I tend to think I'm not that good in crowds. But when I really think about it, I do work the room. And I like to think I'm better one-on-one or one-on-two. I'm just not that good in the overall crowd, like if you're out at lunch and there's 8 people. Part of that is I talk so low, if I say something, nobody can hear me. But anyway. Oh, and I want to mention that this video is not suitable for children. That's one of the requirements of YouTube. And I can usually check that box if I if I record on my laptop. When I record from my phone and upload it, it doesn't give me the option to check that box, but that is a requirement. And the only reason this blog is not suitable for children is because I might throw in some colorful language there at times. Other than that, what I talk about is perfectly suitable. So, anyway, let me gather my wits here and try to think about where I was trying to go with this. So I wanted to talk about the power of the economy of words. As I've gotten older, I have tried to use less words, but be more succinct about what I say. And it takes some forethought before I open my mouth. But I like to think I've gotten better at it because the less words we use in our everyday language, but still state what, or still get our point across,
I think, by the way, the AC is picking up cigarette smoke. Because I can smell it through my room. So I don't know if we gotta turn the fan on when we smoke in the garage or what. Go figure.
okay. My daughter, I love her dearly. But anyway, now I've lost my train of thought as usual. But I like to use less words as long as I'm not obscure to the point of incomprehension. And I'm better at this in writing than I am in speaking. But words are powerful. And the less words, and I am just talking about myself here, but the less words I can use, but still communicate effectively and clearly, to me, is a skill set I want to continue to develop. I think it helps with my thoughts and how I want to communicate to people. I think it helps with my vocabulary and the words I choose to use. And I want to throw something else out here. And this is another one of those points where you will realize why this is an eclectic blog. But when I said I'm really not that good in crowds, a lot of most of my retirement routines and hobbies revolved around crowds and public places. And not that I had to, communicate in those environments, but for example, used to go to a lot of Nats games, and the virus has killed all that attendance for now, but it'll come back. The pandemic will eventually end. The only question in my mind is, will I be able to outlive the pandemic, or will I die of old age before the pandemic is over? But anyway, I was at a Nats game, and this has been a few years ago. This wasn't like last year. And it was toward the end of the game, and these two young dudes are sitting a couple rows down from me on the right, on my right side. And all of a sudden, it's this guy up behind me on the left, and he's hollering, and all. And I'm not paying any attention to what he's saying because I mean, this is what goes on at those type of sporting events or any events. I, so I'm not sitting around listening to him. I'm watching the game. But I had to laugh because these two young dudes, they're sitting there, and all of a sudden, one of them turns around and looks over his shoulder at this guy that's doing all this hollering. And then he looks at the guy he's with and he says, "That guy is really angry." And I thought that was the funniest shit because the guy was coming across as being angry. Like, okay, let's go to a baseball game and get mad, but whatever. But anyway, something I wanted to throw in. Back to the economy of words. Words are powerful. They carry a lot of power. And I digress from the economy of words, and now I go into how words can help, encourage, hurt, demean. They can do so many different things depending on how you use them. And to me, that is something along with the economy of words that I also think about. Is I want all of my words to be for the good of mankind, not the other way. We can choose what we say. And, sometimes shit just flies out of our mouth before we think. And I'm, you know, famous for that one. Don't think I'm not. But I try to use my words for good, for positivity, to encourage and build up, not to discourage and tear down. I think that's important in life. And I also want to mention the concept of speaking it into existence. Because we can do that with words too. We can speak things into existence. That goes into programming your mind. But you can actually talk something into existence, and what you're doing is programming your mind, which then makes you eventually go do or accomplish, make it so, whatever it is that you were trying to do because you have kept saying it over and over. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to, blah, blah, whatever. But that's the way you speak something into existence that may not have come into existence in your life if you had not done that, if you had not kept saying that mantra, if you want to call it. This is the kind of shit I think about because I got this kind of time. And this is William. You can find me on YouTube at William's Eclectic Video Blog. And I am at your mercy. Talk to you.